Hi, today we are going to learn about arrays. An array is a container object that holds a fixed number of values of a single type. Or in other words, an array is a set of similar data types. The length of an array is established when the array is created. Now we are going to see about the array declaration. Here we are specifying the type of the array, integer, and then we are declaring the array. We are giving some name for the array, and then we are using the square brackets. This is the way we declare the array. And then we are initializing the array here. My array is equal to new int of, we are specifying the size of the array as 5. We can do this in another way, like we can specify everything, like we can declare the array as well as we can initialize the array in the single line, or we can declare the array as well as initialize the values using the curly braces here. And here in the fourth one, we are declaring the array. My array is equal to new int of, we are initializing the values of the array. So either we can specify the size of the array, or we can initialize the values of the array. We cannot do both. So this is the correct way of declaring an array. This is the correct way of declaring an array, and this is the correct way of declaring an array. This is also a correct way of declaring array, but this is not the correct way of declaring array. You will end up in an error. Like, you cannot initialize the size of an array as well as the values. You cannot do both at a time. So this is the ways of declaring an array. Next, we are going to see how to print one-dimensional array. We are going to use a for loop, and we are initializing the integer I is equal to 0. We are checking whether the integer is less than the length of the array, and then we are printing the element of the array of 0. First it will be array of 0, then the index of the array gets incremented and it prints the next element. So using the for loop, we can print a one-dimensional array. Next we see about printing a two-dimensional array. So for the first index, we are declaring a variable called I, which is equal to 0, and we are checking whether the I is less than the array dot length. And then it goes as soon as it goes inside the for loop, and another for loop gets executed. Here we are taking the another index as j. We are initializing it to 0, and then we are checking again for the whether the j is less than the length of the array, and then it comes here. So at first it will be I is equal to 0 and j will be 0. So it prints the okay, I made a mistake here. It should be array of I and j. So first it prints the value of 0 0, then I is same, j gets incremented, so it prints 0 of one value, and then j gets incremented, and it prints 0 2. So j gets incremental till it's less than the array of array dot length, and then I get incremented. For example, if the size of an array is 3, we take the array length as 3. Okay, and then I is incremented to 1, and then j is 0, and then I is 1, j is 1, I is 1, j is 2. So this is the way we can print the two-dimensional array. We can use two for loops and print a two-dimensional array. Next, we are going to see how to sort an array. So in this first line, we are declaring an integer array, my array, which is equal to, we are initializing the values as well. Those are random values, and we are going to sort it using the sort method, uh, which takes the my array as a parameter, and then it prints this sort method returns the sorted array. So as you can see, the input array or random numbers 7, 6, 4, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. So as soon as you send an array inside the sort method, the array gets sorted, and once you print the array, it will be in the sorted order from lower number to the higher number. So you can use this method. Next, we are going to see how to compare two arrays. So here we are taking two arrays, first array and the second array, and we are initializing the values, and using an equals method, we are going to compare the two arrays. So it takes two parameters. um, first is the first is the first array, and the second is the second array. So it takes the parameters as the arrays which you are going to compare, and then it returns uh, if it returns to the return type of the equals method is a boolean. So it returns true if both arrays are equal, and it returns false if both arrays are not equal. So if it is true, we are going to print equal. So since the two arrays elements of the two arrays are equal, the output of the program is equal. So we can compare using a equals method. Next, we are going to find the duplicates in the array. This is the most um, uh, frequent interview question about duplicates. Can you find the duplicates in array? So first we are initializing the array in the first line. Then we are traversing through the array using a for loop here, and we are using another for loop, um, um, because we are going to check 7 with 6, and then 7 with 4, and then 7 with 9, and then 7 with 1. So the is going to be 7, and j is going to be 6 at first. So we are going to keep the I as 7, and then we are going to increment the j, like j plus 1, j plus 2, like that. We are going to keep on incrementing the j, and then we are going to comparing with I. Next, as soon as this for loops get completed, we are going to it comes out of the for loop, and I get incremented, and the I checks for we are going to check whether I is less than the array length, and then as soon as the I is getting incremented, then array of I is going to be 6. So we are going to compare 6 with the rest of the elements: 6 with 4, 6 with 9, 6 with 1, 6 with 2, 6 with 3, and then. So if I is equal to j, the element in the index position I and the element of the index position j are same, then it's going to print the duplicate values. So this is the logic. Like, we are going to keep the I as the first element and j as the subsequent elements. So this is the common logic used for the finding the duplicates in array. It's a common interview question.